So we've got a lot of trade rumors popping. They're all the rage. It's happening. Next week, when we're having our Super Bowl week, when I'm going to be in Phoenix, Arizona, the trade deadline will come and it will pass. And people will be moved. I thought I would fill people in before we head on the road to discuss some of these rumors. Number one on the trade rumor block is Bones Hyland. I did not see that one coming. Bones Hyland of the Denver Nuggets possibly might be on the move. And I said to myself, why? How, Sway? Denver's atop the standings. Bones Hyland is a really nice young player. He's only in, his second year. He puts up buckets. What is happening? He's a nice young player that's playing really well, right? Well, if you look at what he's been doing lately, not so much. He's averaging just 7 points a game in his last 8 games, down from 17 a game in the previous 8 games. So I don't know if this is just a way for the Nuggets to scare him. That's what I'm hearing, is maybe they want to get him back into shape. Maybe they don't think his decision-making is commensurate on the timeline of a team that's trying to win a title now. But our favorite old man yells at the clouds, former coach George Carlisle, I don't know why he decided he wanted to speak on this, but he did. He tweeted, Bones' shot selection could kill a potential championship team. I am supportive of the Bones trade by the Nuggets. I am not sure who asked for this insight from George Carl. I do not give a fuck, honestly, about your opinion on the Bones Hyland trade rumors. Do you have some sort of reason to chime in on this? Do you have a dog in this fight? You do not. Why are you speaking? And I don't know. I don't know why you had to do him like that. Why do you have to make him seem like he's not a player who could help a championship team? He is. Anyway, moving on. The Bucks are going to be some busy beavers, it appears. They're going to move Jordan Nwora, who, let's be honest, isn't getting a lot of playing time for a good reason. And the latest news is they got permission from the Suns to speak to Jay Crowder. That's been the rage for pretty much the entire season, even in the offseason. Would they get Jay Crowder? Would they get Jay Crowder? Would they get Jay Crowder? That would be the PJ Tucker type player that they are missing. I think that they are a team that's going to make some moves. Bulls and the Blazers. Blazers getting Jay Crowder would be electric factory. I would love that. We'll trade you Josh Hart and we'll trade you Yusuf Nurkic for Jay Crowder and DeAndre Ayton. How's that? I think Jay Crowder is going to get a lot of suitors, so we'll have to see where he goes. But it looks like the Bucks are front runners. The Celtics, even though they're front runners, even though they have the best record, looks like they are looking to upgrade their roster as well, moving possibly Peyton Pritchard, who also just went on the Point Forward podcast, which is by Evan Turner and Andre Iguodala. And they asked him what his future held, and he said, well, obviously after I'm done here, after this year, I'd like to have, be a part of a bigger role a little bit. Note the after this year comment. When a team knows that you are dipset after this year, they're not going to try to lose you for nothing, Peyton Pritchard. How about after the trade deadline? Maybe you'll have a bigger role moving forward because you're not going to be on this Celtics team. Most likely, now that Malcolm Brogdon is there, he is a 6th Man of the Year candidate, and that is squeezing you out. We all know, moving on, that trader Danny, he loves to trade. We know he loves to make moves at the deadline. They are currently, the Utah Jazz, looking to shop Malik Beasley and Jared Vanderbilt. And get this, my man Trader Danny wants a first-round pick for both of them. Not together, for each. What? So, okay, let me get this straight. So the Rudy Gobert trade, if he ends up, Trader Danny, trading Malik Beasley for a first-round pick and Jared Vanderbilt for a first-round pick, that would net, does some quick math, 7 first-round picks for Rudy Gobert. Do you think that's fair? I don't know if I think that's fair. I think that's a fleecing. So you get 4 first-round picks, and you get Walker Kessler, who was a first-round pick, and then you get Malik Beasley and Jared Vanderbilt. They get to be first-round picks. I mean, that's not even considering some of the other guys that you got in that trade that you could move. And then you move and add in all the picks that could be. How many first-round picks do you think you can get for Lauri Markkanen right now? Probably 3? So here we're talking about maybe 4. Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell may end up netting, if you were to just turn all the players that you get and all the picks and combine them, maybe 15, 16 first-round picks. That is a haul. That is a haul, bro. Also, the Jazz, I don't know why, are interested in Dorian Finney-Smith. I bet they get a first-round pick to just get Dorian Finney-Smith as well. I don't think you're paying anything for Dorian Finney-Smith. Let's be honest. The Mavericks have apparently, according to Shams, an incredibly high price threshold for teams reaching out about Finney-Smith. That seems like a not true statement to me. But keep your eye on Utah. I don't think they're done making moves. The most interesting figure next to Jakob Poeltl on the market right now in terms of white big men that you didn't know that you needed is Mason Plumlee. Yes, Mason Plumlee actually somehow, some way, balling. Averaging 13, 10, and 4 from the field on 67% shooting. I looked at Mason Plumlee's game log the other day, and I was shocked. I was bereft. I was a little verklempt. I had no idea my man Mason Plumlee was putting up 20 on a random night. 15 rebounds on a random night. Also, there's a lot of people who want Mason Plumlee. Kings, Lakers, probably the Blazers again. The Hornets also currently shopping Kelly Oubre, which I think he's been out for like 6 weeks with an injury, but someone will want a chucker, and I am sure Kelly Oubre, when he gets to that team, would love to be on a heat check. Bulls currently vacillating between whether they're buyers or sellers, which is pretty much a testament to who they are right now, not having any sort of team identity, not knowing what direction they want to go, kind of in and out with the wins. But one thing is clear, a lot of teams want Alex Caruso. A lot of teams are coveting him, but it doesn't seem like he's going to go anywhere because the Bulls' asking price is right up there with delusion, because some people think in the Bulls organization that the GOAT is worth multiple first-round picks, which I am telling you for a guy who I think went undrafted from Texas A&M, also not true. Looked into it, reached out to some of these insiders. They told me it was poppycock. They said that two first-round picks for Alex Caruso, absolute poppycock. He is, so I guess, to the Chicago Bulls, untouchable, given the fact that he has such an astronomical price, and apparently the Bulls believe he's a core part of their culture. Probably the only guy, let's be honest, that you need on this team to build around. They should build around Alex Caruso. Why not? Friend of show, Jake Fisher, who I'm going to see hopefully this weekend, reports that the Lakers' resurgence has made them be a buyer more likely than a seller. And one player that they're interested in, which is fascinating to me, is Gary Trent Jr. That would be something. They do need shooters, and he can shoot. He can't play a lot of defense. His deflections are way down. Just ask Nick Nurse, who thinks he's basically someone who they don't even need on the team. But he would be a nice addition. Clippers, also, they need another guard. Kawhi in particular has gone from being load managed and not thought about or talked about or heard from to being very vocal, shockingly, about bringing in a point guard. They are interested in Gary Trent, but more so former teammate of Kawhi, Fred VanVleet. Which, if you could get a Fred VanVleet and a Kawhi Leonard, both former champions, onto this Clippers roster, and Norm Powell, by the way, that would be something. Chaos, like I said, in Toronto. That would mean a lot of players on the move. Portland's looking to sell as well, thank God. Get rid of them. Get rid of him now. You know who I'm talking about. Get rid of Yusuf Nurkic. He's been god-awful. Please tell me he's on the trade block. Please tell me he's on the trade block. Yes. Josh Hart, Yusuf Nurkic contract is an anchor. He's making so much money. He's a clutch client. Please get rid of him. And it remains to be seen, apparently, according to insiders, whether Yusuf Nurkic is a negative asset. So that little deal you did, that little extension you did, may not have been a good thing, except for just having that salary on your books. A lot of people don't realize this. As a quick aside, sometimes you make bad deals so that you can make the salaries match, even if you have to attach a pick. Because if you were to not sign Jusuf Nurkic, that money would basically not be available to you anymore due to the bird rights that you have for him. So there's a lot of math involved, which is why these bad contracts continue to get done. I've got your bird rights. I'll sign a $25 million deal. Maybe I have to attach a second round or a first round pick to get rid of you, but I get somebody who's actually worth the $25 million in return. So that's an interesting thing. His ability to pass on a good team and shoot. He's been a good three-point shooter. Maybe a team wants to roll the dice. Wolves have resurrected their season with Karl Anthony Towns on the bench, and it looks like they are moving on from D'Lo as a result. I tell you what, if this team moves on from D'Lo and Karl Anthony Towns is on the bench and they're winning games, I don't know that Karl Anthony Towns is far behind him. D'Angelo Russell and the Wolves are apparently very far apart in terms of the contract extension. He has unfollowed them from Instagram and all the social media accounts that he was supposed to be following. He's taken, I think at one point he took Minnesota Timberwolves out of his profile. These things are lame, but these things are things you have to think about when you're looking at the tea leaves. Apparently, Minnesota wants to move him, get some value back. Lakers apparently are interested in having him back. We can just reunite all the Lakers. Let's buy him back. Let's get Thomas Bryant back. Oh, yeah, he's there. Let's get Kyle Kuzma back. Let's get D'Angelo Russell back. All the guys that you had. Maybe even Julius Randle, bring him back. Maybe Brandon Ingram. All these players, so loaded. Maybe you could just get them all and reunite them back now that they've been developed without LeBron having to do the dirty work. The Rockets, let's be honest, they're a hot mess. There are players that seem to be on the move there. Jayshawn Tate, Eric Gordon. We've been saying this for years. Eric Gordon's been on the move there. It's like Miles Turner, John Collins, Eric Gordon. These are the three most talked about players in terms of moving them. The problem is that they are looking for a first-round pick in exchange for Eric Gordon, which is what they did last year, and which is what they did the year before that when P.J. Tucker was on the move. So I don't know what's going on. Doesn't make any damn sense. Houston's really bad. All the decisions that they make aren't great. So it would not surprise me if Eric Gordon just became, I don't know, a firm member of their bench as well. I don't think Eric Gordon is going anywhere. Weirdly, they are connected as well to John Collins rumors, which make no sense, which means probably Alperen Şengün wouldn't get any. All of these things that happen with the Rockets, take them with a grain of salt. The 1-9 Pelicans, looks like they are desperate for some help. They have made Jackson Hayes available, Najee Marshall available, Devontae Graham available via trade. We know that they need wings. They do not need any more guards. This is not a place that a scorer that cannot play defense is going to flourish. Who can they get? I have no idea, but I know that they need to figure it out because Zion is out and Brandon Ingram's not fully healthy, and they're falling like a rock. Trade deadline right now is next week. It is going to dominate pretty much what we're going to talk about during that time period. Let's try to get some people on. We'll cover all of that. Hopefully give you some more inside tea. Keep you right there. And, of course, next week, everything will come to a close and we'll know who went there. We had Keith Smith on the show, I think, last week. And he said he thinks this is going to be a very, very busy deadline. So keep it locked.